Next game, Florida, Montreal, 9-10. Montreal minus 125 to minus 130, and that price range is a home favorite. Total sitting at 5.5. And I'll put it very bluntly. If you're betting Montreal in this game, you're just going with some kind of gut intuition, nothing you're seeing with your own two eyes that indicates to you that this team's capable of playing well. You're going on a gut feel that this team is suddenly going to flip a switch and play some good hockey. That's it. That's the only reason you've got to bet this team here right now. That's the only reason. There's no defending it. If you're backing Montreal right now, and especially laying a price with them here at home, you think, oh my God, they're due for a good game. Fuck that. Due for a good game. I don't want to hear that crap. Due for a good game. I have to see with my own eyes that a team is competent. And I have not seen that from Montreal. It's a piss poor effort. That was a quit effort against Anaheim the other night from them. It was awful to see. Carey Price hung out to dry. Bunch of complete and utter stiffs and jabronis in front of him playing defense in that game. It was a complete shit show debacle. But the big solution here for Claude Julien, let's move Paul Byron into a top 6 forward role, because that's going to save us. That's going to save our season right there. That guy's going to perform. As you can tell by my voice, this is a one-way game for me. Florida or nothing. I don't care about Luongo being out. In fact, Reimer's played okay so far this season. He's a capable enough guy. He's been an extended starter in the past with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Montreal's off a road trip too. Big road trip back home. That's a tough spot. We talked about it. I don't like those spots. We didn't like it with Carolina. I don't like it here with Montreal with a reeling team. What is this? A rally the troops? That's what you're going on? Okay, we're going to rally the troops. No, and they're laying a price too. Sorry. No, Florida for me. Alex B. Smith, what do you think of this game?
You nailed it right on the head, Ian. I mean, we got a team, any team, like I said, coming off especially a cross-country trip. They were, the dreaded Florida or California trip. They went 0-3 in that. They've since the opening night, they've lost every game. They look absolutely horrible. I get Florida's not a good team. They're the only team that's right above Montreal, in that Atlantic Division standings. But the Habs are horrible right now. Like I said, there's no life in them. Maybe things will turn around. I don't see it turning around tonight, especially coming back home off of a long road trip. And to lay a price with them right now, I texted somebody yesterday. I said the only team they might be laying or should be laying a price with possibly would be Arizona. And I said maybe. And that would only be if they were at home. If they were in Arizona, I think it'd be a pick'em game. So they're at the bottom of my power rankings right now. The only way you got to look at here is with Florida getting a plus price.
Yeah, and I'll preface this by saying if the shoe's on the other foot here, it's Florida minus 130. On the road. I'm not as interested in Florida. No way.
Sure.
This is all about price for me. This is about a plus price against a absolutely floundering, miserable team. And when a team like the Montreal Canadiens is struggling and in a rut and in a hole, and they're seemingly struggling to get out of it, things sometimes get worse before they get better. This is a pressure-packed, intense media market. When you are struggling, you're tight, you're nervous. You don't make confident plays on the ice. You're feeling the tension and the anger of the fan base, the media just hounding you day in and day out. That is not the kind of suitable, comfortable working environment to work your way out of a slump. That's all there is to it. So sometimes when you see a team like Montreal in such a pressure market, they sometimes struggle longer when they're in a funk. When things are going good for Montreal, we've seen this in the past. They've had brilliant winning streaks. Like they've won 9 of 10, 10 of 12, especially early in the season the last few years. But when they're in a funk, they find it very difficult to get out of. And boy, the way they played on that road trip was absolutely abysmal out west in California. This team has now lost, 7 straight games? Awful. Awful hockey. Poor Carey Price, who smashed his stick the other night. I actually don't blame Carey Price much for that Anaheim game. That was a complete. You could get little Timmy in Pee Wee hockey at 9 years old to play defense better than some of these guys. Jordy Ben, I'm thinking of you, and some of these other guys here on this Montreal team. Really terrible in their own end. Everyone's talked about how they're struggling to score goals, and we knew that would be the case. But this defense, I thought would decline a little bit. It's not just declined a little bit; it's fallen off a damn cliff so far this season. Not good. Andrew, I know he's frustrated as anyone, more than anyone, about this team. What do you think here?
A little shot in the dark here, guys, but I'm thinking about, of course, going against my Habs, but with a team total play on the Florida Panthers at 3. It's paying plus money, and I think if the Habs are going to ever bounce back from this rut that they're in, I think they're going to have to just start putting up some goals. I just don't think they're that defensive team, guys, and I don't think they're going to be that defensive team anytime soon. Like you said, it's been a complete disaster. Teams are just dumping, chasing on us, and skating circles around us. So I think that if the Habs are going to have any chance, they're coming back at home right now. Like you said, long road trip coming back from California. I think Florida does light the lamp here, and they put some goals up tonight.
All right, and Dana Lane, he's involved in this game. Dana, Panthers and Habs, someone's got to win it.
Well, this is fantastic because I enjoy always being on the other side. And, the fact of the matter is that it is basically a gut reaction, but potentially.
Oh, no, Dana, don't.
No, listen.
Come on,
okay.
Dana. Come on.
You know what?
This is a brutal hockey team. -130. You got to
get my wallet out, and we can talk after.
Come on.
It's -$1.25, and the fact of the matter is that after beating the Washington Capitals, I'm not sure how excited the Florida Panthers are going to be coming into an environment where the Montreal Canadiens have now publicly went out and said that they're upset with their season after 7 straight losses. I don't know where they were after 4, but you would think after publicly going out that this is going to be the effort, because if they don't win this game, their season is done. And not only is it done physically, it's done mentally. I would think that this is going to be the best effort that I get out of the Montreal Canadiens, because they are absolutely finished if they don't beat Florida. Florida, to me, is coming in after a huge win off of the Capitals. I think that they probably think that this is a game that they should have. When you start thinking about games that you should have, you start looking ahead to the games that you shouldn't have. And I think that Montreal has an advantage there. Let's not forget, okay, as bad as Montreal is, they completely dominated the Anaheim Ducks in that second period on Friday. I don't know if you guys have seen a team have 30 shots on goal in the second period before, but the Montreal Canadiens had that. So there's something there. They have something inside of them that can win a game for 60 minutes. If you get 30 shots in a period, at least there's some less game tonight that Montreal has to win. You get their best effort. I don't care if it's -$1.25. I'll take all your guys' money, and I wish you the best.
Well, all right. I'll just say real quick. I have to remember there's 82 games in the season, guys, and stats out the window. All this stuff out the window. Thinking about it, I have to remind you that the past 3 seasons, the Habs have started off with an amazing record. They would be 10-2 in their first 12. They'd be killing it, having a great start. Even on their road trips, they did great. So, a lot of people from around here where I live are just saying, hey, look, well, I mean, what could happen? The last couple of years, they've started off great, ended up the year shitty. Maybe this year they can start shitty and end up the year doing pretty good. So, I mean,
who knows? Maybe that's reversal.
But a little reversal maybe. But I heard there's some pretty big trades in the works for them. But again, like, it is an 82 game season. And like Dana said, there has to be a friggin' game where they wake up and do something. So I honestly don't blame you, Dana, for that. I mean, I'm looking at that game as the same kind of thing. This is kind of a do or die, and it's a decent game because it's against Florida. It's one of those teams. It's not like the Pittsburgh Penguins are coming to the Bell Center. It's a Florida Panthers. This is a team where they can look at and say, hey, look, this is a team that's just decent. Maybe we can have a chance here to not embarrass ourselves in front of the 21,000 fans that pay for our overpriced beers and hot dogs. So, we'll see what can happen. But I think if this is a spot that Montreal should hopefully step up.
That's another disgrace. The prices of hot dogs there is ridiculous. The whole bit. It's ridiculous. The most expensive ticket, I think, in the NHL Montreal for a crap-ass product for a team that hasn't won in 24 years.
Wow.
Give me a break.
No, but the press food is fantastic.
Yeah.
So it is the best in the league. I will tell you this: you can get excited that Julian is going to break up Druin and Pacioretty. I mean, now they're going to have a little bit of a shakeup. Maybe that's going to be a wake up call for these guys. I don't know, but Lehkonen, I thought played his best game against the Ducks. Byron has scored in 2 straight games. I think that Druin's getting a ton of chances. So I think it's right there for Montreal. But this tonight, guys, has to be their best effort. If not, I probably will never be on them the rest of the season. Let's not forget, too, Carey Price is their goaltender. He can steal one. So I'm
he could.
Carey Price.
Yeah, if he has a friggin' guy in front of him that can help him out a little bit, he might be able to, but that's been a problem. The thing is for Montreal too, and there's an argument to be made, they've had lots of shots, lots of chances. Well, and people like to talk about shots and chances and all that. Well, I see 42 shots against Chicago. I see nobody able to put a puck in the ocean, 1 goal. I see 30 shots against San Jose, 2 goals. 37 shots against LA, 1 goal. 51 shots against Anaheim, 51 shots, 2 goals. I mean, this is just, at some point, I got to see production here. Put a puck in the net, please. I'm begging you here, Montreal. Put a freaking puck in the back of the net. Please. Please.
A lot of their shots are on the perimeter, Ian. I mean, a lot of their shots are on the perimeter. I mean, that's I watched the last 2 games. The Anaheim game I watched twice. I mean, everything is out of perimeter. There's nothing greasy in front. They're not jumping on any rebounds, and that's the toughness in front of the net is really their issue right now. But again, I'm comfortable tonight. We'll see what happens, but I like to go against the public.
There we go. If you're a bet against the public guy, you're on Montreal. That is true, because I don't know who's going to want to lay a price with them other than Dana Lane. But Florida Panthers, Montreal Canadiens, it's a great matchup here in this particular game. We'll see what happens. 1-3 Florida on the road, 0-2 Montreal at home. Something's got to give here tonight. And I will say this, Florida's losses, I'm looking at them, twice against Pittsburgh, no shame in that, a loss against Tampa, and a loss against Philly. No bad losses there to me, but anyway, we'll see what happens.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.